Hello, a warm welcome to you. This is Nationwide on the network service of the NTA. I'm Ruth Aguele. The federal government says dispensing the second batch of COVID-19 Moderna vaccines doses donated to Nigeria by the United States will commence next Monday, that is the 16th of this month. Information and Culture Minister Lai Mohammed announced this in Abuja on NTA's Good Morning Nigeria. Let's hear the details from Anthony Fortin.
Explaining that Nigeria has taken delivery of over 4 million doses of the Moderna vaccine, Lai Mohammed said its administration will commence coming Monday.
We suspended it till Monday. It was supposed to be launched tomorrow.
Right.
But then, you see, when vaccines arrive, they are taken to NAFDAC. NAFDAC will analyze it, and NAFDAC will give us the green light. It's purely administrative. Okay. That is what is happening. And you see, this is the problem. You see, after the pandemic, the infodemic is another problem that, the PSC is fighting, which is the fake news around the vaccine, which is the vaccine hesitancy. There are so many, the people who are being misinformed about the potency or safety of these vaccines. For instance, they first came up and said there's what is called magnetic effect if you take the vaccine. After that, they said it's actually meant to depopulate certain parts of the country, but it's not true. Every vaccine in use today has been proven to be safe.
The minister debunked reports in certain publications claiming indefinite postponement of COVID-19 vaccination over concerns raised over the use of Moderna vaccine. The minister further explained that the use of AstraZeneca vaccine was fully administered without a hitch, and so the doses of Moderna vaccine donated by the U.S. are safe and meant to save lives. The second phase of the vaccination exercise will target the younger generation who are becoming vulnerable to the infection. In Abuja, Anthony Forson, NTA News.
And still on NTA's Good Morning Nigeria, Nigerians are advised not to wait to become victims before observing all non-pharmaceutical interventions to prevent further spread of the dreaded Delta variant of COVID-19. Let's hear more from Lydia Sampson.
To prevent further importation of the Delta variant of COVID-19, travelers from high-burden countries of Brazil, India, Turkey, and South Africa are subjected to a 7-day quarantine. Medical experts called for increased risk communication and adequate preparation to combat the third wave.
Delta variant is said to be about 60%, 50 to 60% more transmissible than the Alpha variant that was in England. And that tells you that we are dealing with something that is fast spreading, a lot more contagious, and a lot more severe in terms of the outcomes of the disease. The number of deaths that we are seeing now outshines the levels that we've had in the so-called first and the second wave of the pandemic in this country.
In virus reproductivity or in virus transmission, we talk about what is called the reproductive number. So for the normal variant or the wild type, that one affects maybe between 1.5 to 2 persons. that is from one person who is infected. But for the Delta variant, it is up to 9 times that amount. So you can imagine, what it will cost when it appears in a society.
The guests assured Nigerians that taking the jabs will tremendously reduce the risks of hospitalization, while also urging those who took their first dose of the AstraZeneca vaccine to wait for the second dose that will soon be available. In Abuja, Lydia Sampson, NTA News.
The deployment of digital technology in protecting oil and gas facilities is a dependable option in the face of current security challenges. Now, this was highlighted in a lecture delivered by the Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Timipri Silva, at the National Defense College in Abuja. Defense correspondent Ismail Musa reports.
For the oil and gas sector,
armed with facts and figures, the number 2 man in the Petroleum Ministry mounted the podium. The minister's file shows that Nigeria's oil and gas sector accounts for about 10% of the nation's gross domestic product. Crude oil export represents about 86% of the total earnings, which is equivalent to about 40% of government's revenue.
With international best
this, the minister says, is being upscaled with the introduction of digital technology that is increasing business value growth rate, improving operational output and safer operations in the oil and gas industry.
In the area of drilling, technology is facilitating the development of more enhanced oil recovery and offering real-time data through logging while drilling.
I will therefore solicit the support of all Nigerians and our friends globally to provide enduring peace in the society.
To the Commandant, National Defense College, the center will ensure research-based solutions to address security threats.
This is in recognition of the critical nexus between security, peace, and development.
The lecture with the theme, Enhancing Digital Technology in the Oil and Gas for National Development, is part of activities marking the forthcoming graduation of the National Defense College Course 29. In Abuja, Ismail Musa, NTA News.
Now, if we recall, Nigeria constituted a forum that is to pave way for greater access to justice for the nation's children. Now, the launch of the forum is collaboration between the Federal Ministry of Justice, the European Union, UNICEF, and the Nigeria Police. Femi Okewo will report now for us.
Nigeria has of recent been battling with an increasing number of out-of-school children. There is also the problem of abuse of the various rights of the children, all of which end up with the child not being able to secure justice. This is why the federal government has sought the collaboration of relevant international organizations to lift the children from its high level of vulnerability.
Everywhere, groups of children are being left behind as victims of prejudice and discrimination. Among the most vulnerable are children born into poverty, children in detention, children on the streets, and children with disabilities. Yet, only a fraction of children whose rights are violated come forward and seek redress.
In order to bring about an effective implementation of the Access to Justice program for the children, the forum draws membership from a wide range of sectors that will help facilitate the government's intention.
Children are on the move, and for various reasons, ranging from whether they are voluntarily or involuntarily.
The Legal Aid Council already provides a range of criminal and civil legal services.
The committee is expected to be a standing committee, continuously providing better access to justice for the Nigerian child. In Abuja, Femi Okewo, NTA News.
All right, let's expand the discourse talking about access to juvenile justice for children in Nigeria. We have a guest joining us via Zoom, Professor Mohammed Taufik Laden. He's the Director General, Nigerian Institute of Advanced Legal Studies. Thank you very much for joining us, Prof.
Thank you very much for having me in the studio.
Okay, Prof, let's begin this way. Nigerian system, we know, I'm very sure you're aware, has not done much when it comes to dispensation of justice for juveniles in the country. Why is that so?
In the first instance, I think we need to correct an erroneous impression that the Nigerian system of justice has not done enough for actually justice. From 2003, an effort was made to provide for a comprehensive, legislation that seeks to protect, the rights of the child, the responsibility of the local government, all in one legislation called the Child Rights Act 2003, which was adopted by 29 states as at today, in the remaining states, and at the same time, more importantly, to provide for child justice administration away from the former juvenile justice system.
Prof, I'm so sorry. We can't really hear you clearly. We're going to fix that, then we'll rejoin you again. But in the meantime, let's head to Lagos. Kende is standing by. When we come back, we'll definitely rejoin Prof.
We're glad to have you join us in Lagos. A magistrate court sitting in Yaba, Lagos, has ordered the remand of Chidinma Ojukwu, the suspected killer of Super TV CEO Usufu Ataga, for 30 days. The order follows a remand application by police prosecutor. Adeni Taiwo completes the report.
The application for a remand order was brought before Magistrate Adeola Adedayo by a police prosecutor pursuant to Section 264, subsections 1 and 2 of the Criminal Law of Lagos State. He said, attached to the remand application is a 12-page affidavit, statement of the defendant, and exhibit to show that the file has been duplicated to the Director of Public Prosecution for legal advice. The application was not opposed by counsel to Chidinma Babajide Martins, Director of the Office of Public Defender, who said the remand application was inevitable. He, however, enjoined the prosecution team to make necessary documents available to the defense before being brought before the court. Ruling on the application, Magistrate Adedayo granted order for the remand of the defendants for 30 days and adjourned the matter till September. Chidinma, who appeared in court alongside a co-defendant in the case, Quadri Adedapo, was arrested by the police on June 23 for allegedly killing Mr. Usufu Ataga, the Chief Executive Officer of Super TV. In Lagos, Adini Taiwo, NTA News.
The prevalence of crime and other societal ills can be nipped in the bud if only attention is given to restore family values. This is the view of a cross-section of Nigerians who believe women should play active role in saving the society. Amaka Owo completes the report.
The family is said to be an important part of the society, and every human is regarded to be a product of the family units. Respondents therefore attribute a breakdown in the value system to failure of parents, especially mothers, in commitment to instilling the right values in their words.
Women have a strong role in character formation. The moral restitution of our society cannot be complete without the involvement of women.
Most of us are now chasing the things of the world instead of us to now look back and play our role in the family.
Others believe that beyond the role of parents in doing what is right, there is need for institutional support in restoring lost values.
When a woman now works like the husband, who takes care of the child at home? And I'm not saying that women shouldn't work. No. Other societies, they have, women-friendly programs, policies that can help them who do some work in the office, do some work at home, and then have time for their children. I just think, irrespective of gender, men, women, adults, children, people should just put their best foot forward.
It is often said that family is the foundation of society, thus the need for parents to pay critical attention to the upbringing of their children for a better society. In Lagos, Amaka O, NTA News.
This is Nationwide, reaching you live on the network service of the NTA. We'll take a short break now. The news continues shortly with Ruth in Abuja.
Nigerian youths are about the greatest assets the country has at the moment. It is therefore not surprising that the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari is strategically responding to the yearnings of the youth through multiple projects and programs. Youth entrepreneurship support years by Bank of Industry, the Youth Investment Fund by the CBN, and several other conditional cash transfer programs. Recruitment of 774,000 social workers, majority of whom are youths, and so many other projects that are beneficial to youths directly or indirectly. If the administration can do all this, definitely with a degree of patience and time, it can achieve more. Nigerian youths must come together to say no to terrorism, no to vandalism, and no to all disruptive tendencies. Hashtag Youth for Greater Nigeria. Pacifying the youths, unifying the nation.
Dear compatriots, our country can be as great as we want.
Let us all commit ourselves to its greatness.
We must be willing to set aside our differences, unite and stay as one.
In our expansive landmass, human and material resources, and plurality lies our strength.
Let our challenges lead us to rediscover our common ground, and together, let's find solutions.
This will take some time, so it requires patience, tolerance, and forgiveness from every one of us.
Let all hands come on deck to protect and transform our country.
Let us unite and see each other not as adversaries, but as brothers and sisters.
Together, we can build a better Nigeria for ourselves and for the next generations.
This message is brought to you by the National Orientation Agency, NOA, with support from Nigerian Television Authority, NTA.
We are StarTimes, the most affordable digital pay TV platform with the widest signal coverage in Nigeria, dedicated to bringing the best TV entertainment around the world to your screen. From Hollywood to Bollywood to Nollywood, we offer the most affordable subscription. Enjoy over 75 channels for as low as 1,700 naira, like Nat Geo Wild, BBC, ESPN, and premium sports like Emirates FA Cup, La Liga, Bundesliga, wrestling. What's more exciting? We have the most flexible payment options in Nigeria. Don't dull. Join us now for an exciting journey. StarTimes. Enjoy digital life.
Welcome back. We haven't been able to reconnect with Prof, but when we do, we'll definitely bring him on. Having successfully enumerated beneficiaries of the National Homegrown School Feeding Program in Akure, Ondo State capital, officials of the Federal Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development have taken the exercise to rural communities in the state. Doris Olumoko reports.
The enumeration of beneficiaries of the National Homegrown School Feeding Program was introduced in order to scale up the number of beneficiaries from the present 9 million pupils to 15 million by the year 2023.
The idea of capturing these children is to have the accurate data of the number of pupils that are being fed. It helps the ministry in planning. It helps us to be able to give the necessary support that we need to give to ensure that these pupils get the best from the program.
So far in Ondo State, a good number of beneficiaries have been captured in the enumeration exercise, with attention now shifted to rural communities.
You can see that we are in rural area. Some parents, they find it difficult to feed their children. But since the initiative for this program, the population has been increasing.
It's been a wonderful program because some of the pupils have not been eating at home, and this program has helped them a lot.
The federal government school feeding program in Ondo State has both provided sustainable means of livelihood for the vendors, while pupils now enjoying balanced diet at the expense of government. In Akure, Doris Olumoko, NTA News.
To boost food sufficiency and strengthen agri-sector frontiers, students in the field must have access to improved methodologies and technology. The Executive Secretary, Agricultural Research Council of Nigeria, Professor Garba Sharubutu, stated this at the 33rd matriculation ceremony of the Federal College of Agriculture, Ishiagu, Ebonyi State. Chinaza John reports.
Founded 66 years ago, Federal College of Agriculture, Ishiagu, Ebonyi State, was established to impart knowledge and harness potentials inherent in the sector. To this end, the college annually matriculates over 1,000 students to study various courses towards boosting food sufficiency and the economy of Nigeria. Little wonder the Executive Secretary, Agricultural Research Council of Nigeria, Professor Garba Sharubutu, did not miss words in calling on the matriculants to discountenance any secessional plan and be vanguards of peace and unity of the country.
Discountenance anybody that will tell you that you are going to be fashioned towards one direction. This country belongs to all of us, that you have a future to fashion for yourself.
We have included market-oriented and entrepreneurial courses to equip you for success in the outside world. This administration has been undertaking training of manpower in various vocations of fish farming, cassava, etc. in the entire southeast, as over 300 entrepreneurs have benefited with the stipends they receive.
In a lecture titled National Security Challenges, Student Safety and Academic Delivery in Nigeria, Dr. Emmanuel Mba, among other speakers, identified security as critical to the functions of government, hence the need for synergy in that regard.
Promoting school safety creates an open space for students to explore, learn, grow, and contribute positively to societal development.
The matriculants defied the heavy downpour to take an oath, expressing willingness to contribute in the revolution of the agric sector. From Federal College of Agriculture, Ishiagu, Ebonyi State, Chinaza John, NTA News.
All right, let's pick up from where we left off, talking about the conversation with Professor Mohammed Taufik Laden on access to juvenile justice in Nigeria. Okay, Prof, I'm glad you're back with us. Now, you were telling us on how Nigeria is signatory to the Convention of Rights of Child and how to correct the perception that Nigeria has not done well, the Nigeria system, when it comes to juvenile justice. So, go ahead.
Thank you very much. I think in the first instance, we need to correct the impression that successive governments have not done enough with regards to juvenile justice or child justice administration in Nigeria. Let's actually look at the non-existent before 2003. There was no comprehensive child rights law in Nigeria until 2003, which seeks to actually, address all the international treaty obligations of Nigeria on how to protect, promote the rights of children, because children are vulnerable. And the reason why they are vulnerable are essentially four, and that is they are largely discriminated against, they are marginalized, they are disadvantaged, and then they are also largely excluded from participation in the decision-making process affecting their lives in society. So what the federal government has done since 2003 was first to enact a Child Rights Act, a comprehensive legislation to protect the children, and for the first time to create, a conception that moves away from juvenile justice to what is now called child justice administration in Nigeria. It has to be a friendly system, and then it also created a family court system at two levels, at magistrate level and at high court level. And this instrument has been adopted by 29 states of the Federation out of 36. And the reason for this is important, i.e. states also have child offenders under their laws, so they should be able to have similar laws that will also address and protect children and provide for juvenile justice. The truth of the matter actually is that, this law was supplemented by a national child policy, 2007, and implementation guidelines of 2008. All these are legal and policy instruments that have been put in place that requires funding, requires commitment and cooperation, with all the justice sector actors in Nigeria, including state and local governments. This is actually the crux of the matter. It requires funding regime from both state and federal government in order to actually ensure. Yes.
Okay, Prof. Of course, we know we also have the Children and Young Persons Act 2 that seeks to provide welfare for children and treatment of offenders. But from what you're saying, there's still abuse of rights of children. Now, for children who fall victim of circumstances, what kind of justice dispensation? Because you talked about administration of justice, it has been modified. So what kind of administration of justice should be given?
I think this is a very important question, and it's also part of what we call the implementation actually component of both the law and the policy that are already actually on ground. So our problem is the implementation. We need to establish appropriate child offenders institutions, or if you like, child justice institutions. And we also need to provide access to justice to child offenders. And children that are already vulnerable cannot access justice in our judicial system without financial assistance and without legal aid. These two key elements are important for them to access justice. So Section 46, subsection 4, paragraph B of the Constitution puts the obligation of the National Assembly to trigger the clause of providing a fund where all vulnerable and indigent citizens, including children, seeking to access justice, to have access first to financial assistance, and second, to also have access to legal aid, so that they can actually, access justice in any setting in Nigeria. Okay, the second actually point has to do with the fact that we need to have appropriate institutions for child justice administration to address child offenders' needs. And that actually is very, very important. Okay. We have to actually move away, yes, from the postal homes. Yes.
Prof, very briefly now, just of recent, there was a forum constituted, to address access to justice for children in collaboration with the Federal Ministry of Justice, the European Union, UNICEF was part of it, and the Nigeria Police, and the European Union, of course. Now, how would out-of-school children benefit from this?
Well, in the first instance, out-of-school children, there are almost about 9.1 to 10 million naira to 10 million actually, peoples or children are part of the vulnerable children, that they all seek protection and they all seek actually, child justice system, and they also need access to justice. So children that are out of school, are already having a legal and policy backing for their protection. What they need actually is implementation with funding, with actual institutional mechanism in place at both federal, state, and local government levels, and political will on the part of government at the local, federal, and state level to ensure that their implementation strategies are child-friendly. That is one. And second, they also need to recruit people, social workers, and other justice sector actors at all levels of governance to ensure that they understand the new philosophy of child justice administration and why we are promoting also non-custodial sentencing for all actually offenders, including children. So out-of-school children need actually financial intervention on the part of all levels of governance, state, federal, local government, and then we also need all actually social workers and child justice actors to understand the new philosophy in the Correctional Service Act 2019, and also why the Child Rights Act 2003, adopted by 29 states, require that we must put in place family courts away from the regular courts so that it will be child-friendly environment for justice to be done. Out of children actually, need educational institutions, and they also need anti-poverty intervention actually measures. So these two, can all benefit from the policy and institutional mechanism that are already in place, but they need fine-tuning, and we also need political will. That is the crux of the matter. Political will is key. Yes. You need investment really in that respect.
All right. Prof, I'm very sorry, we have to stop there. Thank you very much for your time. Of course, a paradigm shift in the dispensation of juvenile justice is what we hope for. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. I'm grateful.
Okay, we're crossing over now to Sokoto. Let's join Sadia. She's going to pick up from here.
Thank you, Ruth. Welcome. The Controller General of Customs Strike Force in charge of Zone B has confiscated 404 blocks of cannabis sativa worth 32 million naira in Sokoto. Shehu Muhammad Detti reports that the contraband items worth 234 million naira were also seized from the zone in the second quarter of 2021. The report.
The zombie of the Comptroller General's strike force consists of Sokoto and Kebbi states, respectively. Presenting the items seized in Sokoto and Kebbi states, the coordinator strike force zombie, Deputy Comptroller Oseni Aliyu Olurokoba, said the items were seized through intelligence gathering and efforts of the strike force personnel. Items seized in Sokoto include foreign rice, jerrycans of vegetable oil, cartons of Fasta, and Toyota Corolla NPK fertilizer, among others. In Kebbi State, sex enhancer drugs and jerrycans of petroleum products were among items seized. Deputy Comptroller Oseni Aliyu reaffirms the Comptroller General's zero tolerance on smuggling along the Nigerian borders.
We are here to send a note of warning to would-be smuggler within the zone that with the support of the CGC in terms of its manpower, which has been enormous to us, in terms of the logistic support, they won't have anywhere to hide. They will always have us to contend with. We have two things, either to stop any form of smuggling in any form, in any way, or they relocate out of Sokoto because there won't be anywhere for them to hide. They always have us.
The 404 parcels of cannabis sativa seized were handed over to the NDLEA Sokoto office through the agency's Deputy Superintendent of Narcotics, Mustapha Alibaba. In Sokoto, Shehu Muhammad Detti, NTA News.
Zamfara State Governor Bello Muhammad has officially received APC membership card at his polling unit in Maradu local government area of the state. This marks the commencement of the party membership registration and revalidation exercise across the state. Jamilu Ibrahim has more.
Governor Bello Muhammad of Zamfara State defected to the All Progressives Congress APC in June this year, along with his teaming political associates and supporters. The development calls for the conduct of membership registration exercise to capture the new members of the party in the state. The governor received the party membership cards at Maradun, which marks the commencement of the exercise in all the 147 wards across the 40 local government areas of the state. Muhammad, accompanied by the two former governors of Zamfara State, Senator Ahmad Sani Rima and Mahmoud Aliyu Shinkafi, among other dignitaries, said he was overwhelmed with the turnout of the new APC members at the registration center, expressing optimism that the party will draw more than 2 million people in the state during the registration period. He applauded the leadership qualities of the party at the national level under President Muhammadu Buhari, which created an enabling environment for the new members to formally register with the party. Chairman of the committee constituted by the APC National Secretariat to conduct the exercise, Ibrahim Kabiru Masari, said proper arrangements have been made to ensure the success of the assignment, which will pave way for the participation of Zamfara State delegates in the forthcoming national convention of the party. In Gusau, Jamilu Ibrahim, NTA News.
And that's it from here. It's now back to Ruth in Abuja.
Thank you, Sadia. Welcome back. Niger State government has confirmed the kidnap of its State Commissioner for Information and Strategies, Mohammed Sani Idris. A statement issued by the Chief Press Secretary to the Governor, Mary Noel Burje, indicates that the commissioner was kidnapped by bandits at about 1 a.m. Monday morning at his country home, Babuntunga, in Tafa local government area of the state. The statement added that security operatives are already on the trail of the bandits with a view to apprehend them. Operation Safe Haven have described as false a media report alleging that own troops do not counter attacks in Plateau State and its environs. A statement by the Military Information Officer of Operation Safe Haven, Major Ishaku Takwa, says the allegation is false and an attempt to deter the efforts of troops in restoring peace in troubled areas. Major Takwa notes that Operation Safe Haven is a joint military operation involving other security agencies whose mandate is to ensure lasting peace on the plateau and its environs, stressing that troops have and will always counter attacks in the area. The statement enjoined the public to cooperate with the security agencies by providing credible information that would aid proactive operation. The Imo State Police Command has restated its commitment to sustenance of peace and security in the state. The Commissioner of Police, Abutu Yaro, made this known while parading some suspected Eastern Security Network members allegedly behind a planned sit-at-home order in the state. Let's get the details from Lorita Arinze Egwem.
Suspects paraded, 29 in number, comprised males and females alleged to be members of the Eastern Security Network, ESN. According to the Commissioner of Police, Imo State Command, Abutu Yaro, the arrest of the suspects in their various camps across the state became possible through increased surveillance by officers of the command. While commending the Inspector General of Police, the Imo State government and other stakeholders for their contributions to the restoration of peace and security in the state, the Commissioner of Police urged residents to continue to go about their businesses without fear of molestation, as the police is fully on ground to ensure sustenance of law and order.
Imolites are enjoying and encouraged to come out and pursue their business. Persons who were determined to destabilize them have been intercepted. They are the ones here. So you can see this is the final liberation of Imo.
One of the suspects, who claimed to be a repentant member of the ESN, speak.
I was arrested in Olu police station. So I heard about ESM, unknown government. They have started again killing and cutting innocent souls. That is why I informed the police to volunteer myself to deal with them.
Items recovered from the suspects include Army and NYSC uniforms, arms and ammunition, cutlasses, charms, among others. In Owerri, Lorita Arinze Egwem, NTA News.
Makurdi will be our next stop, and Susan is set to guide us.
Ruth, it's good to have you join us in Makurdi, the Benue State capital. As frontline security agencies continue to tackle insecurity headlong, Mrs. Eunice Otom, wife of the Benue State governor, has urged women to stand in the gap for unity of the country. Grace Anyalewa Ichekwa reports that Mrs. Otom stated this at the annual convention of the Women Wing of Christian Association of Nigeria, Wowikan, Benue State.
Wife of the Benue State Governor, Dr. Eunice Otom, while congratulating Wowikan Benue State Chapter for the annual convention, says the role women play in the church and the society are enormous, since they also suffered in terms of conflicts. She therefore urged women to be united in working for peace of the country, especially in the face of challenges of insecurity.
For your unreserved role in continually standing for the entire state in frankness through your prayers for an improved Benue community in all spheres.
The State Chairman of Christian Association of Nigeria, Benue State Chapter, Reverend Akpenleva, and the State Chairperson of Wowikan, Evangelist Rita Atto, commended the governor and his wife for their enormous contributions to the development of Christianity as well as peace in the state. The annual convention with the theme, Victory in Christ, drew participants from the 23 local government areas of the state. In Makurdi, Grace Anyalewa Ichekwa, NTA News.
As school children commence their annual long vacation, experts have advised parents to spend more time with their wards by engaging them in skillful activities outside academics. They describe the family as the foundation for basic learning in every society. Ivierin Solomon reports that the advice is coming on the backdrop of the need to engage children meaningfully during holidays.
Parents spend more time with their ward during holiday, especially for those that are in boarding schools. Scholars believe that the essence of holidays is for pupils and students to have a break from academics, but to engage their brains in other psychomotor activities, as this is good for their overall development.
Generally, mental development, educational development of the young minds, it has to match the need and the demand of today's society. And today's society is heavily tilted towards entrepreneurship and innovation.
However, some educationists believe that Engaging children in extramurals during holidays should not be neglected. This, some of the children say they will engage in summer lessons to prevent boredom associated with holidays.
My parents will run for summer lessons. I'll be doing lessons. They'll be teaching me English, maths, and some other subjects.
Instead of staying at home doing nothing, I prefer him going for lessons.
While other parents say they will enroll their wards in various skills training to further expand their horizon.
During this holiday time, at least it's not good for the children to be always stretching their brains in learning theory aspects. Children are supposed to learn other skills.
Meanwhile, a sociologist, Teso Shamija, has also advised parents to rather use the opportunity of the holiday period to bond, as the family is the first training ground.
The quest for us to survive, the quest for us to look for material needs, our own current situation, pushes us to a level of negating our basic social responsibility, which is that of giving our children this basic training at home.
He further says parents should not neglect the aspect of training the children on basic home activities to reduce the burden of leaving everything to teachers. In Makudi, Iverin Solomon, NTA News.
And that's our package from Makudi. NTA Nationwide continues in Abuja after this commercial break.
The broadcast media ecosystem is dynamic and requires continuous training for practitioners to perform optimally. NTA TV College Jos invites relevant officers to the following specially packaged training programs: new technologies, optical fiber, IP technologies, automation storage management and wireless technology. Date 9th August to 13th August 2021, 1 week. Transmitter operation and maintenance. Date 23rd August to 27th August 2021, 1 week. Advanced broadcast accounting and auditing. Date 30th August to 24th September 2021, 4 weeks. Emotional intelligence for workplace efficiency. Date 6th September to 17th September 2021, 2 weeks. The course fee for the 4-week course is 100,000 naira per participant. The fee for the 2-week course is 80,000 naira, while the course fee for the 1-week course is 60,000 naira only, accommodation inclusive. The venue for all courses is the serene and secure environment of NTA TV College near Old Government House, Rayfield, Jos. For more inquiries, please call 0803-079-5335 or 0806-980-9807. NTA TV College Jos, training you to be the best you want to be.
Although social media as a channel of communication is inherently harmless, it becomes harmful and damaging when used without discretion and thoughtfulness. Bad social media users spread rumors and fake news without verification. But good social media users stop, reflect, and verify information before sharing it. Be a good social media user. Stop the spread of fake news. Verify the authenticity of your source and use social media responsibly for a better Nigeria. This message is brought to you by the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA, in collaboration with the National Orientation Agency.
A new edition of TV Guide is out exclusively with Governor Simon Lalong of Plateau State.
Since assuming office,
Our rescue administration has pursued the path of peace and reconciliation and restored confidence among people of different ethnic, religious, and political persuasions. Peace is back on the plateau. We are building world-class infrastructure in roads and opening up opportunities for innovation.
The edition is a compendium of mind-blowing stories for your reading pleasure, ranging from entertainment, economy, sports, media, politics, family, and lots more. Pick up a copy and keep abreast with issues and trending features within our space. TV Guide, very incisive, very educative and compelling. Grab a copy at the vendor near you or any NTA station nationwide. TV Guide, your indispensable companion.
Welcome back. Collapse of building and public infrastructure has been a worrisome occurrence in Nigeria, but satisfactory answers to why this happens, what should be done to address such horrible tragedies, and efforts by regulatory bodies such as the Nigerian Society of Engineers to uphold standards of practice cannot be ignored. 100 upcoming engineers have been inducted to change the narrative as Nigerians wait to see how they will affect new changes in the system. Charles Alpha will tell us more.
Research has shown that the collapse of building and public infrastructure is not a new thing. Neither is it peculiar to Nigeria. It is a global thing and one of the causes of death annually. Code of ethics and acceptable standard of practice is said to be dropping, coupled with the challenges of adapting to cyber and digital technology for modern designs by engineers. Abreast of these challenges, the Nigerian Society of Engineers now wants to provide lasting solutions by encouraging its members to embrace innovations and expected roles in fast-emerging digital economy.
You cannot be talking of infrastructure without the involvement of engineers. So that is where these new, the new members, that's the inductees, that is where they come in.
Lay down code of ethics and
100 upcoming engineers were inducted and charged to effect the changes needed.
Most of the projects that you heard about building collapse, most of them is not supervised by registered engineers. We call them quacks.
The inductees have been told what to do. We have a committee called Engineering Disciplinary Committee. We will be going around to inspect projects in respect of the project, be it civil, electrical, mechanical, and so on and so forth.
They were told to identify new business opportunities, global threats, and save lives as well as fight quackery in the system. Charles Alpha, NTA News.
The All Progressives Congress has again reassured Nigerians that the security of the nation is of highest priority to the Buhari administration as government is effectively deploying resources to ensure that Nigerians go about their activities in peace. National Secretary Caretaker Committee of APC, John James, in a statement said security funds are no longer being pocketed and no inch of Nigeria's territory is under the control of the now decimated insurgents. He added that the emergent security incidents recorded in some parts of the country are being tackled by security services with great success. He reaffirmed that in keeping with its election promise to Nigerians, President Muhammadu Buhari has shown uncommon leadership, intent and capacity to permanently end all security incidents and criminalities in the country. The APC commended Nigerians for trusting the Buhari's administration and solicits continued support to the military and security agencies that are fighting insecurity. He appealed to Nigerians, irrespective of political, religious and ethnic affiliations, to come together to end the challenge of insecurity in the country. The FCT administration has commended the chairman of Kwali Area Council for the achievements recorded in 2 years of his administration. FCT Minister of State Ramatu Tijani Aliyu, who gave the commendation in Kwali at a book presentation to mark the second-year anniversary of the chairman, noted that party leaders and supporters have greater role to play in the re-emergence of any political office holder. Ifeanyi Zumba has the report.
Endeavor to buy and go through this book.
Frowning at the culture of one term for political office holders in Kwale Area Council, FCT Minister of State Ramatu Tijani Aliu maintained that one term is not enough to consolidate on the achievement of an incumbent, while calling on the people of Kwale to break the political jinx.
I must appreciate you all, party members and experts and delegates of Kwale Area Council, for again throwing question to the wind and just doing the right thing because he has done the right thing.
Chairman Kwale Area Council, Dana Dichia, said his administration was open to constructive criticism that would bring development to the council. Senator Philip Aduda, represented by the Commissioner, FCT Public Complaints Commission, Ezekiel Dalhatu, gave goodwill message.
I want us to encourage him so he can do more.
Kwale Township is growing. We need to bring planners, town planners, replan it, and have it designated as the next capital for FC.
We've seen the touches and practical exhibition. No single word has been left untouched by the government of the day. That is Kwale Area Council.
The occasion was to x-ray the achievement of administration of Dana Dichia and second-year anniversary. Ifani Izumba, NT.
Women from all walks of life, including members of All Progressives Congress and different non-governmental organizations, as well as support groups, are drumming support to appreciate Governor Ben Ayade for inclusion of women in his administration. Paul Abel reports that the women, led by the wife of the state governor, Dr. Linda Ayade, walked through major streets in Calabar to express their support.
Walking through the streets of Calabar with flags, alongside music, and finally terminating at the Millennium Park, women and girls believe that they have never had it so good with the series of women appointments into key positions. At the Millennium Park, one after the other, they speak on the qualities of Governor Ben Ayade and his achievements in agro-industrialization.
Sir, out of the 4 chairmen of local councils, 3 are women from the South.
In his response, Governor Ayade commended the women for their show of love and promised to financially sustain 1,000 women monthly, irrespective of tribe or religion.
Whatever Ayade says, I will give my right hand to it. Today, we will appoint on simple social welfare system. Give me from this crowd 1,000 women for 10,000 naira every month.
The theme of the event is Impact and Women Appreciation to the Governor. In Calabar, Paul Abel, NTA News.
The People's Democratic Party Governors Forum has reconciled all the aspirants in the Anambra governorship election and also appointed Senator Uche Ekunife as the Director General of the party's campaign council for the November 6 poll. Timothy Yusuf will tell us more.
This meeting followed the resolution of the PDP Governors Forum to reconcile all aspirants that contested the ticket of the party ahead of the November 6 Anambra governorship election. Governor Amadu Fintiri of Adamawa State was saddled with that responsibility.
All issues have been resolved and the party is now in a good state and strengthened.
For now, I can say that Anambra is good to go. We'll have the right candidate.
The PDP governorship candidate Valentine Ozigbo believes that with the reconciliation, the party is set for the poll.
This is one family. We can only be stronger when we are united.
Chairman of the PDP Governors Forum and Governor of Sokoto State, Aminu Waziri Tambuwal, enjoins party members to remain calm as the party has put in mechanisms to resolve all of its internal issues. In Abuja, Timothy Yusuf, NT News.
A group of the People's Democratic Party youth under the banner of PDP Youth League is urging for the removal of the party's national chairman, Prince Uche Secondus. Correspondent Timothy Yusuf reports that the youth converged on the PDP National Secretariat in Abuja for a peaceful protest. Meanwhile, the party's Governors Forum is meeting in Abuja to discuss recent developments in the party as it relates to the survival of the PDP and recent call for the sack of Secondus-led National Working Committee, as well as the party's national convention. Let's take sports update. That next.
Following the poor performance of Team Nigeria athletes at the just concluded Tokyo Olympics in Japan, taekwondo coaches in Akwa Ibom State have been charged to promote discipline in the various clubs to groom athletes that will win laurels for the state and the nation. John Paul Alumina reports that the stakeholders emphasize this at the Black Belt Refresher course in Uyo.
We bring coaches who are bringing up these kids. We train them here and show them the way forward so that they can be able to bring up quality athletes for us.
Winners of the 2021 ITO Cup in men and women categories, Bayelsa United and Bayelsa Queens, are still basking in the euphoria of their victories over Nasarawa United and FC Robo in the final of the competition played at the Samuel Ogwumida Stadium in Benin City, Edo State on Sunday. Bayelsa United will take home 25 million naira, while Bayelsa Queens earn 10 million naira as the star prizes. Nasarawa United, the runners-up, will get 10 million naira, and FC Robo will take home 5 million naira. This is the first time in the history of the competition that one state will claim the trophies. The 2021 Sporting Weeks of the Nigerian Society of Engineers has commenced at the training pitch of the Moshood Abiola National Stadium, Abuja. It is aimed at keeping healthy life and social interaction among members.
All branches of Nigerian Society of Engineers are participating, and we are expecting to start with football. There's a marathon that we're going to go jog around and move around town.
Activities lined up for the event include football, basketball, badminton, volleyball, as well as track and field events. Clement Olorutoba, NT News.
Right, we're done with Nationwide. We very much appreciate your company, but let's not be weary in the fight against rape and rapists. I'm Ruth Aguele. Enjoy your evening.